Sorry, you guys.
Hey,
I didn't know I
hey.
had
How are
my
you?
card on there. I'm great. I'm great. I'm so sorry, you guys. I was like trying to hurry up and rush the nail lady, like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. So sorry.
Uh,
I
it's
apologize.
It's okay.
it's all
We
good.
understand life be life for
No,
sure.
because I
Yeah, and it's
really wanted to get
Friday.
on today. So, and it's my husband's birthday. So that's why I was like, let me,
Oh, so we
you
really
know,
appreciate you spending the time out to
Yeah.
take with us.
We gonna try to we might have to do a part one, two, and three because
no,
most of
no,
you
you
guys
don't.
don't know. Tip, she's been on our other platforms supporting us, and she's very informative. She has a lot of information, a lot that she's been through, so just bear with us while we navigate through her story. It's kind of similar to ours. We always say that, right? So people think that it's just basis, but I guess once you start talking, they'll understand how yours is unique because you're dealing with it on both ends. Meaning, her husband had a bit of baby mama, and she had a bit of baby daddy. That's
Have.
kind of
Or or
half, yeah.
or a deadbeat.
Or deadbeat, right? Deadbeat, bit of baby mama, and deadbeat on both ends.
There
Imagine
you
marrying
go.
somebody and being in love, and that's what it is. So we're gonna get
Yes.
into it.
Can you first tell the people where you from?
Atlanta. So I originally am from Raleigh, North Carolina, but I live in Atlanta now. I've been here since I was 16. So
Okay.
I'm really from Atlanta when you think about it. So everyone lives here. My husband's from Chicago. That's why he always thought you guys were from Chicago. So
No,
he's
we
We
like,
are.
are from Chicago.
"Oh, you are okay," because
Yes.
he knows that he has the accent. So he's like, "They're from Chicago." I'm like, no,
Oh
they
yeah,
is from
we
Definitely
Houston.
definitely from Chicago.
born
Born
and
and
raised.
raised. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
because I hear my cousins, like his cousins, I hear them right when I hear y'all. So that's why I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like, and he's like, they're from Chicago. I said, no, they're not. They're from Houston. He's like, baby, they're from Chicago. I'm like, okay,
If
Yeah.
you
okay.
know, if you know, you know. He
Now
just
I
Okay.
gotta
let
go
you know.
apologize. Dang
It's
it.
okay.
All right. So, how many? Let's get right into it. So, how many kids you have?
Biologically, I have two, but we both say we have six because we don't use the word step kids or whatever. We don't. We have never used the word step kids, because at the end of the day, they're our kids. So when I feel like when you take care of someone mentally, physically, emotionally, they're your kids. That's just how we feel. So, we have
For
six
sure.
total. Our oldest one, his oldest one, his daughter just turned 18. So.
What are
Okay.
their ages?
Uh-huh. We have us a 18, 16, three 14s, and a 13.
Okay,
Woo.
so if we have that correctly, you have two kids
He has
and your
four.
husband has four kids.
Yes.
Do you
18.
guys
Yep.
have any children together?
We have none together.
Okay,
Okay.
so a beautiful blended family. And again, we have six kids too. See, I told y'all we in the
That's
same family.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Um,
We love
so
it though. So I mean,
oh, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
we're old.
It's a
We're
beautiful
older.
thing.
I'm okay. Like he just turned 42, but his birthday is this weekend. He turns 42, and then I turned 38 in April. It's like we're good. We travel. We like having the oldest one being, I mean, the youngest one at the house is 13, where we can be like, hey, you going to your friend's house this weekend? All right, bye. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Y'all didn't do what we did. We messed around and had a pandemic baby, so we still got a toddler running
Yeah.
around
We
here
got.
running the show.
Yeah.
so
But
y'all,
girl,
y'all,
it's something.
uh-uh,
But
uh-uh. I'm
let's deep dive right into
Yeah.
it. So I don't know, where should we start? Should we
we
start
try.
with
So,
his?
yeah, let's start with his side first.
Okay.
Okay.
We want
So
to
he
know.
got how many? You said he got four kids. So how many of them is being alienated from you all?
All of them. All
Wow.
four. All four. That's been going on since. So I'm just gonna be, because I remember on the TikTok when someone, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been sitting on that question for a long time. I mean, since I was on your TikTok, when someone asked me and said you must be leaving something out. And that kind of like messed with me for like 3 days. Like I was literally like, babe, like what did I say wrong? Babe, like, and then I leave it. I was literally asking my husband that, like, what did I leave out? Like, am I crazy then? You know what I'm saying? And it had me second guessing myself in a way.
What do you
And
think they meant by that? Like leave out as far as what? Like it's something you're not telling because of the
so
story you gave, or what?
So if I'm not mistaken, because I do research on stuff, right? The person who asked that, I think he's a friend of my baby father, honestly, because I went and looked and they follow each other on Facebook. I'm like, I've seen him before.
Oh,
That's why I think. But it was nothing I was leaving out. It's just that like what am
so
I
he
leaving
was
out?
trolling. He was
There you
trolling.
go. I
Yeah.
think people get alerted when I'm on live. I think that's how it is. I didn't know that. I think
Okay.
people get alerted. I had no idea. So now I know, and now I know what to do or whatever to stop that from
Well,
happening.
I'm gonna tell you just straight like this: these people in these comment sections do not pay attention to them. Like they come for us, and this is our platform. So what they say don't matter. We here to raise awareness. We here to give information to help people fight for their kids and do the right thing. And so you've been down that road, and so that's what we gonna stick to, and that's
I
what we
mean,
gonna
nobody
run
knows my
into.
truth. Nobody knows my truth. No one lived it. So if you not lived it, if you don't have the messages to prove, the emails to prove, shut up. That's just how I feel.
So your
Um,
husband, he has 4 kids by the same woman, right?
he has the same woman. They were actually together for 12 years.
Okay.
And off and on, so he say, off and on. Now one thing I do want to put in that I think I omitted that made me think about it was, yes, we were a merged relationship. Okay. I like to be as transparent as I can. We were a merged relationship. What I mean by that is, at the end of, he was just like, I'm tired, I don't want to be with you no more, talking about her. And then me and him happened to meet at work, and we just started talking, and he didn't tell me he was living with his baby mom, and it was like one of those situations. And I'm like, and then when I found out, of course we broke up, because I'm like, I don't come second to nobody. So
Right.
then and so then he finally came out with the truth about where, everything. So I really think their situation started when she found out that he was dating me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's
So
why I say
she
I
feels
want
like you think she
transparent.
feels like he cheated on her with you, basically.
Correct, but come to find out from him and other people, and he ended up getting a family member involved. Like, can you tell Tiffany that? So come to find out, they were not living together when me and him were dating. When me and him were dating, but they were still. It was like I want my family back. Like, he was just basically
Were
trying to
they
play the
married?
cards. No, they were never married.
Okay.
Um, he never. She actually planned her own engagement party, right? When while we were broken up, she actually planned her own engagement
To
party, thinking
him?
that he was gonna propose. No, like, she thought on her birthday he was gonna propose to her. So she planned this whole big, told her family that he was gonna propose and everything, and he found this out after the fact. Like, I never intended on proposing, so that was an issue. And me and him were broken up at that time, but he called me in the midst of like them arguing. But I guess he kicked her out the car, whatever happened. He was like, I can't do this, like, she swung. And he's like, I'm not gonna lie, she ended up being in the back seat of my truck because I just couldn't take it no more. Like, it was slung to the back seat because it was physical at that point. And I was like, well, just come over here, like, I'll like just calm down, get on the couch or whatever. And I was at that point in time like, I don't want
Yeah,
to talk. We
we didn't
cool.
get this on TikTok, so they
You told
definitely
me don't say nothing, so you told
they
me.
definitely
you,
gonna
told,
drag you. They gonna try
you
to say
told
you a
me.
homewrecker. They gonna try to say that he was cheating. That's
Correct.
what it's giving, right? But we don't care about that.
It's
Y'all
it's not
grown.
it's not
Y'all
it's
moved on. Y'all
yes,
got
we
these
moved
kids.
on.
So get into
Yeah,
y'all
that
being together and
the
He came
madness.
right
back. He
So
came
take
he
us from
came
the top of y'all together
he
and
came
her
back.
actions.
and the rundown.
Correct. So he came back once we got together. He when he proposed to me, unfortunately we had a snake at the, not a real snake, you know what I mean? Like, so we had someone that basically went back to her and told her the day he proposed to me. And that, since then, it went haywire. So she was like, you never gonna see your kids again. If you ever walk down an aisle, you never see your kids again. And he was like, basically, that's when they was going back and forth physical. I mean, not like verbally, like,
Hmm.
he was every type of bitch, and I don't know what I can say on here, like B word, and whatever. And they've been going back and forth. And I'm the type of person, and I'm not lying. People can say I'm lying all they want to, but I'm not a combative person. I don't have time to argue with you. I'm not gonna get a headache with nobody. So I don't care. So
So
it's
did she
like,
come for you?
Yes, she came for me, but she won't pull up on me. So I'm the type of person like, hey, this my address. I don't go back and forth with you. I don't talk. I'm not gonna talk to you. I'm not gonna tell you what I'm gonna do to you. I don't do none of that. Look, this is my address. You live 32 miles from my house. It takes you this amount of minutes to get here. We can meet at the park. I don't care. Like, let's tow it out. I don't have time to sit and argue with you. You calling me all type of names. You talk calling my son retarded, who is autistic. Like, at the end of the day, my kids are off limits. I don't care
Right.
what you got to do. Don't ever in your life call my kids nothing. Keep them out your mouth.
So clearly a bitter situation, right?
Yes, we've been to court.
So how old at that time were the kids? Because he's been in their lives since they've been born. If he had been with her for 12 years, right? So how does
As I
that
said,
work?
off and on. So I said off and on.
Okay, but
It was a
for the relationship he had with his kids was pretty solid, right? You would say, or how do you?
it was solid to the point where it now, like I told you before, it is partially his fault. I would never omit that. It is partially his
Okay,
fault for when he got his kids. Sometimes he was living at home with his mom at that point, not living at home, but when they broke up, he moved with his mom to be
okay,
down there with her. So he'll get the kids down there with her and he'll stay there. Now, it was times where this is between when he didn't tell me that they were still talk, you know what I'm saying? So we I didn't know that he would leave his kids down there with his mom while we go maybe out to a date or whatever case it be. So it is some trauma there. You get what I'm saying? And I tell them all the time, like, talk to them and stuff like that. But kind of find out they don't even remember that. You know what I'm saying? What they remember is the mom telling them, well, she broke up our home. She took your dad from y'all, and that's all they hear. And that's all I feel like they are accustomed to thinking of me. And I will buy them things. I will do things for them. Like, even I bought her his 16-year-old. She was like maybe 10 at the time. I bought her a
mm-hmm.
cake for her birthday. I got a specially made 3-layer cake, custom, for her. And they didn't know, of course, it came from me, but he took it to the birthday party and they smashed the cake. Like, I paid $200 for this cake, but you smashed the cake, but it's her favorite
Who was
Wow.
person.
they?
Right. Who did
The
that?
mom. The mom. So it's like you smashed the cake but then you go buy her a cheap cake from Sam's.
So
And I
did
spent
y'all
two hundred
did
dollars on
y'all
the cake.
ever have like a conversation to try to like talk things over?
I've tried several freaking times. To the point where it's like when you get tired, I'm tired. Like, I'm tired when you start threatening me. I don't have nothing else to say to you at that point. So it's like I've tried several times. Even after we've been to maybe 13 or 14 court cases. So we were in court so much to the point where it's
So
like,
get us to that point. Like, so take us back. So take us to the point. All right, you said she said when y'all got engaged that he'll never see the kid
correct,
again. So how did y'all
and
get
she
to
lived by
court?
that. She
Okay,
lived by
so how
that.
did y'all get from that to court?
So what happened was she went and filed for abandonment.
Mm.
Abandonment, which means that, I don't know if anyone is familiar with abandonment. Abandonment warrant is when someone does not pay child support over 30 days. So they can file. So she went and filed at 31 days. But we bought the kids stuff. You get what I'm saying? So, but she did not report that stuff because it's technically considered gifts in
Yeah.
Atlanta and
Mm-hmm.
in Georgia. That's before we even knew the law. So now we're very educated on it now, but then we weren't educated on it. I didn't know any of this can happen, So when he first put in a court order to see his kids for visitation. That's what it was. It was what is it, legitimizing his children. I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
legitimizing his children. That was the first step. And we did that. And then, according to the judge is more so keen to how much child support he needs to pay versus, hey, the kids need to see their dad. It wasn't. So when the judge found out that she was not allowing him to see the kids, it was oh, well, okay, well, I'm gonna take her out the equation then, and you guys have to meet. You have to come all the way down to Covington to go meet her at her mother's house to see the kids.
And how far is that away from where you guys was at?
It's an hour drive.
Mm.
So And granted, it's okay because he doesn't care. He would do it. But when he went down there that last time, his daughter was getting real disrespect. His oldest daughter was getting real disrespectful to his
So how
mom.
old was she at that time?
She was, so she's 18 now, so I would say she would maybe 14, 13, something like that. So she was maybe like 13 or so. And don't quote me on that. I think she might be 13 or 14 because I'm thinking about it now. But he went down there with his mom. He took his mom with him because he didn't feel comfortable going by himself. So he took his mom down there. She was getting very disrespectful. So what he did was, what he did was pinch his daughter because she kept getting like real disrespectful. And so he was like, "You're not gonna keep." He kept telling her, "Calm down, stop talking like that, calm down, don't say this to your grandmother." All this stuff, and he ended up like pinching her like right here, like not even hard. It was one of those like, "Stop, girl, that's all." She went into an uproar, went upstairs, called her mama, and like the police came. They tried to lock him up for abusing a child because he tried to chastise his daughter. And that was really, and so when the cops got there, which I was so happy that we were blessed with a cop that had common sense. And this black man, this black man told my husband out his mouth, he said, "Listen, I'm not gonna take you down for disciplining your child. I'm not doing that." He was like, and he went out there and had a conversation with her, like, you shouldn't allow your child to call us when their father is chastising him. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
she tried to tell the cops, "I got a restraining order against him. He's not even supposed to be here." He's like,
What?
"What?" No, you don't. So she tried to get him arrested on something. You know what I'm
So at
saying?
this
So
so at this point, okay, she tried to hit him with the false allegation. So at this point, she was still trying kind of allowing him to see the kids at this point, but she
correct.
was playing little games.
Correct.
So when did that stop completely?
That was the last visit. So, and that was the last visit where he tried, because we've been at that point we were already through court case number 4 or 5, because he was always going to court for something. So right before that, he got arrested for stalking. He didn't stalk her, mind
What?
you. I wanted to tell you guys, he did not stalk her. What happened was his brother was in town, and we were sitting in the car. Right, matter of fact, I remember like it was yesterday. We were sitting in Camp Creek eating, and his brother was in town. His baby mom was calling his brother's phone because she does not have my husband's number. She has to contact him through email. He don't want her calling him.
Right.
He didn't, at that point in time, still then she was calling the brother's phone, blowing up the brother's phone, and talking to him. And so my husband kept telling his brother, "Do not answer the phone." And so then, and that she left a voicemail and was like, "Hey, tell your brother to call me because I don't want to say his daughter's name, but the twin, because she's a twin, the twins in the hospital from asthma attack." So he immediately, like, we stopped eating. He's like, "Oh shit, let me call." So he calls her. He calls her from his phone, because at this point he's not thinking like she don't have my number. He's like, "Let me just call. I don't care. Let me just call her." So he calls her. This dumb bee
No,
sitting in front
you
of.
can say the word.
Oh, okay, because I don't know where I am, but she's sitting in front. She's sitting in front of the freaking sheriff's officer, telling the sheriff officer, "See, he keeps blowing me up. He keeps stalking me."
Yeah. Yeah. So she
And they
went and
came and
got
picked
an
him
ex
up.
parte restraining order or something on him.
She was sitting right there. That's why she kept telling them. Just why she kept trying to call, because she knew we wasn't gonna pick up the phone. So she kept calling, because, and then she knew once she leave that voicemail, it'll make it look like, "Oh well, because she knew that he was gonna call back, because she knows what the kids do to him. She like, "I know how to get to him,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I know he's gonna call back. Let me pick up the phone." So he calls back, and then kind of find out she's sitting right in front of the police officer.
But even if she was able to get the order, how did he get arrested? He would have to
So
go within a.
they did it as a felony stalking, which is for them to pick you up. So did it as
Oh
a felony
wow.
stalking because she took a video. So at the time her sister drove the same car I drove. And which was a Nissan Altima, it was a black one. She
Man, that's
actually had her
That's
crazy.
sister.
insane.
She had her sister park outside her car. I mean,
Like
outside
it
her
was your
house,
car.
and like it was my car.
Oh my god.
So, but mind you, he won the case. We went to court. He won the case. I mean, we of course we had to hire an attorney. At that point in time, I wish we were educated like we are now in the law. We wouldn't have wasted money on an attorney because that's easy to fight.
Yeah.
But we end up winning the case, and the attorney was about to turn around and press charges on her for falsifying a police document. But we didn't even want to do that because we were like, you know what? She
Just
got it.
let it be.
Let
Right.
it go. I don't want to come at the court. Let it be.
Yeah.
We didn't want the headache because then we don't want her thing is she want us to do that so then the kids can see, oh, see your dad trying to get me arrested. Your dad
Yeah.
trying your dad trying to ruin my life when that's not the case. And
Woo. This
But
one
is
thing
that
a lot.
that
about my
It's
that's
been
what
a lot of
that's
back
what
and
she
forth.
was trying to
That's what
do.
she was trying to do. Exactly.
And if
exactly,
you could
but
do it
again,
all
he
over
he
again,
can't talk to his dad.
would you
Hmm?
file would you pursue it if you could do it over again?
Yes, I would. I would. With the knowledge I have now, oh, I would. Oh, she'll be in Newton County right now if you leave it up to me. But
So
I
get
don't
us
want to do that to my
to
husband.
yeah. So get us to the point where she actually got him locked up for child support.
She got him locked up for child support. So, like I said, the stalking they got him for that. He was locked up for a week and a half. He got out. He got locked up again. Maybe 2 weeks later for child support abandonment. Right. So once he got locked up for that, they tried to come. That's when I started reading around the time he was locked up for the stalking. He was locked up for a week for that. When he was locked up for that week, I drilled and I was in those books for sun up to sundown. I was determined to get my husband up out of this shit. I'm sorry. So and I got tired. I total for our attorney was $32,000 for an attorney, and you would think we fighting a criminal case, but it
Right.
was
Yeah.
because of that. It was because of that stalking, and on top of it being a family law with all the other stuff going on. Now, granted, we got some of that money back now because we end up just cutting ties. But once she got him all up for child support, for that,
And
she
how
tried
long
to
was
take.
he locked up for that? For the child support
It
case?
was like 48 hours. It wasn't
It
nothing
wasn't long.
crazy.
Okay.
No, it was like 24 to 40 hours. It was something
That's
short, like
48 hours too
That
long.
right.
yeah. But
48
I
hours. So
yeah, and
was
I
he
kept.
paying his child support? What happened with that? Because a lot people
He
are gonna want
wasn't
to know. He had to be doing something wrong in order to be, locked up
correct.
for it, right?
Correct. So, during one of the court cases, once we got done with the visitations and everything, he was ordered to pay. He was ordered to pay a certain amount of money. Five. It was like some cheap for child support. Right. We were paying that. We didn't know that the bitch took a document down to child support office and told them that he has a business, right? So,
Mm.
and then she was able to take down there that he had an open child support case for his oldest child that he didn't know she put on him in 2008. Like,
Mm.
and
So
he
that
never
made them
knew.
tag
They
arrears. Is
combined
that
it.
what it was?
There you go. It was arrears. So he never knew that he had that arrears until they broke up. And then she told them that she told child support that they never lived together. And
Mm.
because in Georgia, if you can prove that you have not lived with your baby's father, you can potentially get back child support. But now I
Right.
don't think they honor it anymore. I don't know if they honor it still, but I know they did at that point in time. And so he was able. So now it's $16,000 out of arrears because of that. Because so they calculated from 2008 up to 2022. They calculated all that,
Good
and
Lord.
he never got notified about him even being on child support. He never knew he was on child support.
So
So
you
she went down
became
there.
his paralegal, his attorney,
His
his
I became his
everything,
I
and
became
you
his
were
power of attorney. I became his paralegal, his attorney. I don't whatever title you want to give it,
So
I did because I got tired.
how did you get him out of that jam then?
yeah. What was it?
With child support.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's funny. That's funny because so child support have tried to come out to him for a long time. Now they stopped. No child support. They actually I also I'm also about to filed something for the state of Georgia for them to also give him back the money that he's already paid. So they have to refund him the money because of them taking child support when, because child support is illegal. I'm being honest with you. So once I started following this guy off of TikTok and Instagram I heard about, which is called like child support fraud guy. I
Mm-hmm.
bought his book. I bought his book and I studied his book for like 3 months straight. And I did every single thing in that book and it worked. And even when I walked in court, the judge was like, "Are you his attorney?" I'm like, "No, ma'am. I'm his power of attorney." And when I walked in there and I was able to present her, she made everyone leave the courtroom. So because
Mm.
they don't want black men to know anything about this because they want us to be in the system, and
Wait,
that's what
so
I don't
pause for
like.
a second, because I know the viewers are they. It's a lot of information, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you, as his wife, was able to become his power of attorney
Hmm.
to represent him in court, to actually be a voice for him in court.
In court. So they're able to ask me questions. I'm able to answer. Only thing that I cannot do is I cannot give legal advice. Like I can't. Basically,
Right.
they ask,
You're
"Are they?
not right.
Can we
You
lock
can't
them up or
cite
not?"
like case
I
law
can't do nothing
or
legally.
right.
Yeah, I can't do none of that. I have
Okay.
to only one thing I always tell people all the time, like, because I helped his cousin do the same thing in with his situation, but um you fight superior court with superior court. So you find case laws that's doing the same as that thing that you're doing. You find that case law and you fight that court with that same case law. That's what I did, and I just basically showed them how you fraudulently obtain his signature, you fraudulently gave you, and also she gave you the wrong address on purpose. I purposely, and I tell him all the time at that point in time, message her and make her say certain things in the email. So meaning like she'll say something about his address and then he'd be like, "Girl, you don't have my address." "Yes, I do. Your address is da 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 da." Boom, there you go, you have his address,
So
stupid. So
basically,
I
you
took it down there.
strategized and you were able to get him up out the jam. But
Correct.
what happened as far as like the kids? Like you couldn't do the same thing in family court in terms of like his visitation,
Visitation.
like what you know.
The visitations, how the visitation ended, the judge said that he can see his kids only if he speaks to the mom to coordinate the visitation. I swear to God, that's what it says. If I
What?
can post it, if
And
I can
these
find a way
kids
to
are
post it, I
not
will.
like babies. These kids are teenagers.
They're
So she did.
teenagers. Well,
So
at
did
that
she
point in
have
time they
full?
were.
So did she have full custody?
Correct. So she had full custody. She has full because he never fought, and I do get him for that too. And I wish he would have fought to get full, like, at least joint
50-50.
custody. Correct. But
Okay,
he
so
did
that
not want
makes
to fight
sense.
for he didn't want to fight for joint custody because he's like, all he kept thinking about was honestly me, my two sons, and also him, because what will it do to these kids that are already trained to hate these my side? I
So
don't want to bring that
basically,
energy over here.
so basically, and for the viewers, we're not cutting her off. We have to channel this stuff so we can give the information we need so people can understand. Right? Right, Tip? Right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so basically, and we encourage men to do this sometimes, right?
yeah.
This isn't a one size fit all type of thing. If it's a
Right.
very toxic situation and it's causing harm to every aspect of someone's life, sometimes men
Mm,
do take a step back and
mm.
just say, you know what, I retreat, I give up
I'm glad you said that. Oh my God.
because at some point, if you're not getting anywhere, and it's it's not, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're like giving up on their kids forever, but we have to take care of ourselves. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. I'm pretty sure she was calling him a deadbeat at the time. She felt, that he whatever. But I just wanted to point that out because that's what people are gonna say. Like, well,
Thank
he
you.
didn't fight for his kids, so how can he say he's being alienated? But people
Thank
aren't
you.
understanding that all the drama, all the trauma, all the bullshit that has got y'all to this point, he had to make a decision because it was too much on, you know, y'all
It was too
lives.
much stress.
You
It was
gotta
too
you
much
can't
stress.
talk and drive. They'll flag the lives. You're gonna have to
Okay. I was
get
pulled
us to a
over.
steady spot. Okay.
Okay.
So
I want pulled over.
I just wanted to say that because people are gonna say it for us, but I want to be clear on that we understand that some men do take a step back sometimes if it's very, very hectic and detrimental to their
Toxic.
current life and toxic and causing them problems that
Mm-hmm.
they can't even function with their current lifestyle. So
Mm-hmm.
you're saying you didn't agree with that. You were
Mm-hmm.
pushing him to fight, but he decided that, hey, look, this is too much, and
Correct.
this is how it got y'all in a deeper position where she was able to really alienate the kids because he didn't take the steps to get them.
Yes, because she
Correct.
wasn't only alienating them by keeping them away. Because a lot of people don't know, it's more moving parts to being alienated. She was alienating them too by psychologically damaging them to hate his side of the family,
Right,
like she said mentioned.
right,
And
It,
so
but
the father
yeah.
did make a conscious decision, which is very tough when you know you're dealing with kids that's being alienated. I mean, but you can't knock him for his decision.
right. Because they
'Cause-
kids.
Yeah,
I mean,
But
his
they're
decision, but
kids,
they just
and they now, okay, put it like this. His kids are very how should I say it, vocal, right? So I've been all type of bitch. I've been all type of you go be with your hoe. I've been at, and one
that's
thing he
coming
don't
straight from the
tolerate.
mama.
right,
One is that, well, we know that, and he's now one of them. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a very great talker, right? So I know how to persuade certain things. So I know how to talk for my husband, because if you allow him to talk, basically he like his kids. He don't give a fuck what he come. I'm sorry, he don't give a daggone it what come out his mouth. He gonna say what the hell he want to. I'm the one that's really reserved, like, trying to talk to the kids as him, but be like a mother, like meaning like So now one of his kids just started reaching back out, one of them, and I'm the one that got that relationship back, meaning like I hit her up on I found her TikTok, then I found her Instagram. I went digging and I sent her a message as him, like from his profile, like, and I asked him for viewers. I asked him. I didn't just do this without talking to my husband first. Okay, I didn't
thank you
just
for saying that because
thank
us
you.
wives, we do too
God.
much.
We do
Yeah,
too much. We do too much. We even though it's for the husbands, even though it's for the better good of our husband's mental, we do too much.
stay in your
But
place. Stay in your place.
yeah, I hear that all the time. Stay in my place.
Hmm.
So, but I did this because I'm a mom first and I'm a wife as
Absolutely.
well. So I tried to talk to his children as him, because I know if I tell him to do it, he gonna be like, if one bitch come out their mouth or one something, he shuts down. He like, all right, I
Yeah,
ain't talking to you no more. I
as
don't
he
care.
should because that's
But
totally inappropriate for a
it's
kid to even be speaking
inappropriate.
that way.
Correct.
Yes.
But see,
So it's so
me,
it's a, so it's
I
a
I
severe
I
case
do
of
this.
parental alienation.
Yeah.
It's
I,
a severe
I'm the one that
case.
strokes. It's a severe case. Yes, I'm the one that stroked their egos. Like, I may text some. I'm like, hey baby, how was school today? Did you have a better day today? Or hey baby, I'm the one doing that for him. And then now he talks to her without me being involved now, because I got the relationship to a trusting relationship with them, where she thinks at that point in time that it was him talking to her. So now he can go into that relationship with his daughter with a positive mindset, meaning he didn't have to deal with none of the bullshit. I took on that emotion. I took on that, meaning all the type of times she was calling me out my name, she calling me out my name, but not knowing she talking to me. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Do,
it,
so do you think you're controlling?
do I think I'm controlling?
Yeah.
I Controlling, no. I just think I do control. I try to control that situation, because I basically what I'm saying is I was out of it for so many years, but then when you see your husband go to a spiral of almost committing suicide, I took over.
Ooh
I'm
wee.
sorry, I don't care what nobody got to say.
That's right. I
Everybody
had
can
to
kiss my
ask because
what.
I wanted you to
I'm
give that
sorry.
raw answer. I wanted you to be
I'm sorry.
transparent as possible
I
because
mean,
people
and I'm
don't
not
get it. They don't
and
understand.
I'm not gonna get emotional. I'm just like, when you walk in a room and see your when you see your husband on the floor, about
Listen,
to die and you had to call 911 because of a child or a baby mom like hurting them? Like, I'm sorry. Can't nobody tell me I'm controlling anything. I took it
that's
over
right.
at that point because my husband is my everything. And if he hurts, I hurt. I don't know if anyone knows what real spiritual ties are, but when you got that tie with that man, with that person that has a part of you, anybody, I don't care. If my kid disrespect him, my kids know they getting it too. So it's not like it's just anything.
One sided.
It's not. I took it over because I got tired of how many times his kids, his baby mama would mess. They would fuck with him so bad to the point where he was in a hospital. I'm not doing that no more.
That's
Not doing
right.
it no more. And I don't care who tells me I'm controlling. So what?
Man,
My
that's
husband will
your
tell you something
person. Like
different.
I tell my kids and I tell anybody else that's involved. Once y'all gone and y'all moved out the house, who you think gonna be still sitting here looking at each other?
There you
So
go.
no, nothing come between this. Now we
Nothing.
might beef. We beefing right now, but you see
But
where we at right now.
but nobody would know.
No,
Nobody
no,
would know.
nobody's coming
Nobody would
between
know.
this. Nobody,
Exactly.
not no
And they don't
kids.
like the fact that he talks about me that way. Like you talk like your husband talk about you that way.
Hmm.
Like you me and my husband can sit and argue right now. But I bet money on it that if I call him right now and say, babe, I'm out of gas, I'm on my way, baby.
That's a
Or hey babe,
marriage.
like
That's a
we're
true marriage.
married.
That's real.
So
That's real partnership. But kids don't understand it, and I know that seed has been planted for them to be envious and jealous and feeling like they come second to you, but they do. That's the
They do.
truth. If you
Technically,
know
they
if you
do.
know the order, and I
If
ain't
you know
trying
the
to get
order, if you want to be
biblical
technical,
on this platform,
biblical,
but if you know
God
the
is
order, them
first.
kids do not come before your spouse.
There
Okay,
you go. And
period.
that's what he told, and that's what he told them. And he's told them out his mouth that. And they got so like they were just like, well, your wife don't come between before us. And then the baby mama gets on the phone like, that's your problem. You put everybody before your kids and da da da. He's like, how do I put anybody before my kids? I'm just trying to see my kids. And she's like, well, you can see your kids as long as nobody with you. He's like, I'm not doing that because every time I come around y'all without nobody, I get locked the fuck up. That's why he got really mad. And
Yeah,
I'm
so
it's
like,
let me
it's
I
a
had to grab the
control
so
thing.
let me
phone.
ask you this: how long has it been since he's seen his kids? Before we get into
Um,
your
he
side of
hasn't
things.
he hasn't seen them in about oh shit. Oh, you know what? He just saw him. He just saw him when remember I told you I just got his daughter back acclimated with him. I got him acclimated with them because her prom was coming up, her homecoming. And that's when I found out that she was out to have homecoming, and I tried to talk sweet to her to get him invited. So he did get invited to her homecoming, and he went. And I bought her clothes. They would hopefully they don't see this because they'll throw away everything. But I went and bought her like her belt, her Hermes belt. I bought her shoes. She wanted some what's these kids wearing these shoes? I don't know the name of them. Whatever shoes they wearing, Balenciaga shoes. I don't know,
That's
but
just that's just proving you a
Yeah,
great wife and great
you
so
stepmother.
know, like
how long was it before that?
oh, it was like years before that. It was like 4 years, 3 or 4 years before that. Cause we've been married for 5 years. So
So y'all
remember
pretty much been fighting this battle y'all whole marriage.
our entire marriage. So that's what he always said. We've never had a blissful year until now. This is our first year have a blissful marriage, meaning like no drama. When he said, I'm done, I'm tired, I'm done. He's like, I can't keep putting that energy out there. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? And it's like
Yeah.
every year, like even with my wedding, she was up the street in a car, I heard, with a group of girls, hoping that I get out the car by myself so she can jump me at my
On your
wedding,
wedding day?
on my wedding day. So, and
Uh,
I kept telling y'all,
so do
so
y'all
I'm
think
not.
she still want him?
She's we've been married for 5 years. She still says stuff like that. Like what you just said. Like even she tried to come back last year and say, if you come back and make it a family, then she mind you,
Oh, she want her family back.
she got two more kids she just had with somebody else.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
uh,
She
This
has
is
two more
like
kids.
deja vu.
Like,
People
so
do
it's like,
people
be with
do
that
people do.
man.
Okay,
Be with that
okay, all
man.
right. Enough of her. We know she ain't got it
So you
all,
understand? Like, I just want her to leave my man alone. That's it. Leave my man alone. That's
and
it.
he get his kids. That's what we want from
Right.
you. If
That,
you
but
That's
but
watching,
but we are okay with one. We're okay with the one that's come around. We're
so
okay with
yeah, that's
that.
what I was gonna say.
We're
How
okay
is
with
it
that.
with the other kids? Is it work?
Oh, she
Is he
called.
working on reunification or like
We've
what's
tried.
happening?
He's tried the same way I told you I tried with that one. We tried with the other ones, and the oldest one, she's been spoiled her whole life. So he's always given to her, his mother, her mama, because she was the firstborn. So
Yeah.
she gets everything. So now that she turned 18. She has not called her father for nothing. It's like, I don't want to talk to you or that bitch. It's all like this. All I hear from her. And so
that's
now
super
her
Wow.
18th,
disrespectful.
her 18th birthday, she
So,
calls. Oh, well, I want a car. So he's like, no, he's like, wait. I have not
no,
talked to you in how long, but you want a car? And he was like, because he wanted to take her out for a nice steak dinner. He wanted to basically take her out on like a daddy daughter date, for her
Hmm.
birthday. In my opinion, I'm the one I did. I encouraged that. I said, baby, take her out on like a daddy daughter date. So it can help you with healing. It can help her with healing. That's what I said.
mm-hmm.
Right.
And he was like, nah, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. And I was like, no, just try it, right? So that was my fault. I told him to try it. I just tried. I said, just message her and just say, hey, baby, put on your nice wear. Let's go out. Daddy gonna pick you up. We gonna go pick whatever steakhouse you want to go to. Let's go to it. I made reservations. Me and you, candlelights. We'll do a nice daddy daughter date. You're 18 years old, and his exact words were, baby, I want to make sure that I show you how a man is supposed to treat a woman. That's what he said to her, right? Because my daddy did that. So that's why I told him to say it like that, because my daddy has always taught me he wanted to treat me how a man's supposed to always treat me. That's how he did. That's how he did. So I felt like he should do that to his 18-year-old. She's old enough to date now. So her response back was, no, all you could just give me the money that you were gonna use for the steakhouse, and I don't eat steak, for a car. That's what she said.
Mm.
That's she her
So
mama's child.
so let
Yeah.
me
That's
ask you
all
this
I can say.
before we go to the other side. I want to ask you. So how is the mother responding to the kids when they saying these things? Have you ever been around, or do you know? Do they, is they
I
just
don't know.
saying is she's around when they speaking to her father like this?
I have no, honestly, I don't know. I don't even want to answer that because I don't know, because I don't want to say yes and I'd be wrong. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I know previously she was the one egging it on, like laughing in the background. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? Like, and I don't know
so
how she is now.
okay, so
Yeah.
that's one question. Okay, and then my second question is, how was their relationship prior to the alienation, and like when he was around and he was
Oh,
in the
great,
house?
great.
So she
Like
wasn't
they
disrespectful like that before?
Uh, no.
But
So from what he was telling me, because I asked him the same question. That's crazy. I asked him the same question one long time ago, and I said, "Was she ever like this?" He was like, "I mean, she had her like little smart mouths every so often, but he was like, I mean, we get it in check and go on about our business, So it was they
Just
always were
normal
together,
teenage stuff.
normal teenage stuff. I mean, it was nothing. He always was around. You know what I'm saying? Like if but he was like, the thing about it is, me and their mama argue so much that I'm like, y'all don't understand that I didn't want to be there no more. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, they both felt like it was toxic. They both said it was toxic. So it's like, if both of y'all said it was toxic and both of y'all agreed to move on,
what's the
what's the
problem?
point? And I guess, and the guy who she's with now is the same guy that she was cheating on my kids I mean, cheating on my husband with. She was cheating on him the like 3 years, like the 3 years he was cheating on my husband. When he just found that out a couple years ago, that's what she's with now.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's like it's like
something wrong
you
there.
know like, come on,
It
like
shouldn't be
now.
no issue at all.
No issues. So he was like, this the guy I caught you in Albany with. When you told me you was somewhere else, you was with him when I caught you in Albany. So it was like, how is it that it's okay for you to do that, but then you want the kids to respect him, but then you don't want the kids to respect my wife? And at least he did say, now he does say dumb stuff like, At least I married mine. Don't I said, why did you say that? Like, don't that would piss me off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Cause the
and
gloves is off.
When
She getting him locked up. He don't care what he
he
said.
don't that now,
it's
but now you see
So
why I
we
said I
don't we
take
don't
over.
encourage or condone that type of behavior because it only makes matters worse. But we understand it. Like, how can
Yes,
you deal with a person that's constantly attacking you, attacking you, attacking you, and you just never strike back? That's unheard of, right? And so
it
he
is.
has his moments where he wants to, defend
fire
himself
back.
and fight back. And so that's what that is. But whoo, we
I
gotta
Yeah.
tell my
we gotta
time
move
stop. I
on. We
said
gotta
stop
move
saying
on.
that.
We
Yeah.
I
got
said
to
stop
move
saying
on.
All right. So now let's take it to your side. Cause you said y'all getting it from both sides.
I wish we had commercial breaks because I need a drink, but I can't even go get nothing because this is like people don't understand.
you making
People
me
don't
feel
understand.
bad.
No, not you. You don't understand how triggering it is to know somebody else has went through something so similar to you and understand how bad it is because if nobody knows, we do.
Yeah.
To get it on both ends,
Do y'all
just
not
because
understand how
two people
therapeutic
fall
this
in
is?
love and want to spend the rest of their life together,
This
I
is
don't
very
understand. I would
therapeutic
never understand it.
for
Me either.
me. This is
Okay.
very therapeutic. So I appreciate you guys on this platform because it is therapeutic for me. I've never told my story because I'm one of the type of like I don't really care. I don't want to talk about this girl. I don't want to talk about this boy, this man. I don't want to talk about it, but y'all allowed me to tell what's going on. And you
Mm-hmm.
guys allowed me to tell everything that I know and that I see, you know what I'm saying? And y'all allow me to have that voice. So I appreciate that because I'm able to, instead of just writing my journal, I'm able to tell someone, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately it's public, but whatever.
So
But
let
my
me ask you.
It's gonna help somebody.
So
Trust me.
let us ask you this, before you start talking about your side of things. We always ask this question at every live. We ain't asking for your
The
the
first,
father situation because that's his
his was
situation.
right.
But we
and he
finna
was gonna
ask
get
you.
on.
So,
He didn't know if he didn't know if it was okay for him to get on. That's why he was
he
like,
could
Absolutely.
and
absolutely.
he was like, my husband was like, babe, can I get on with you when you talk to them on Friday? And I was like, yeah. I was like, they probably want to hear a man point of view anyway. And he
That
was like,
Yeah,
all
we
part.
right.
definitely wanted to hear
We
both
might
sides.
have to double back because
Yeah.
he gonna have some stuff to say that you just can't say.
Hey, exactly. All right.
But yeah,
So
go
we,
ahead. $1 million question.
the $1 million question is who's the deadbeat? You or your baby father?
My baby father, my baby father, my baby father. That man is the deadbeats of the deadbeats of the beats. Like I called him a deadbeat on Friday. I called him a deadbeat 2 days ago. So I mean, I guess it's him.
Okay. All right. Well, take us to the top of that story.
And
We,
it's
I
nowhere
know
near
it's
long as that one.
Friday. I know it's your husband's birthday.
Yeah, so we trying to
He's
move it
fine.
along.
Oh,
Uh,
he's
so
fine. He's
so
fine. But
take us to the top with that.
that
What
situation
How
is
did y'all guys meet?
my kid's father.
Yes.
We met at my job. Well, when I was working at the mall in
You
Perimeter
be meeting
Mall.
all your men at your job.
Yes, right,
How
right.
old were you at the time?
I was 21 when we first met, so that shows you
Okay.
how old I am. Damn, I'm
Yeah.
almost 40. I'm almost 40.
Okay.
But yeah, so we met at 21, and my kid's father is a identical twin. So he got me really because we were talking on the phone and we was FaceTiming and all that stuff or whatever, and he never told me he had identical twin. So he walked in my job and there's a guy that hugged me from the back, and I'm like, boy, when you get here? He didn't live here. He lived in Memphis, and I'm like, when did you get here? And then he was like, I just came to see you and take you out, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, I'm giving him a hug, and then I look. I'm like, wait, you don't look the same. I said, take off your like, I started noticing little like, okay, your eyebrow not like that or whatever. And then he come around the corner. I'm like, see, y'all wrong. Like, I didn't know he had identical twin at that point.
So that's
So,
when you should have known that was a red flag that the
Right.
end is on come one way or another.
They tried to pull
right.
a fast one on you.
They did. Trying to put it password. But yeah, so
Oh
he was
no.
identical twin.
Okay.
So
So
y'all got two kids together, right?
We do have two kids now. With our
Did
situation,
you
we did
marry
not date.
him?
Absolutely not. No,
Okay.
ma'am.
So was
Uh,
it y'all dated for a while, or was it a
no, ma'am. No, sir.
situationship?
No, sir. We did not. That's the thing about it. So me and my kid's father only dated. Believe it or not, we only dated for my son. I left when my son was 3 and 4. So I left when my son was 3 and 4. So we dated maybe 2.5 years, like
Mm-hmm.
continuously, two and a
Okay.
half years. Now I think we were dating, like like together, like off and on for maybe like 3.5 years or so. But that's it.
So your
Because
kids
I
are
got
pretty
pregnant
close
right
together.
after. Yeah, I have Irish twins. So
Oh, okay. Oh yeah,
yeah,
definitely
I have
12 months apart.
is
Totally.
yeah.
Okay.
They're exactly 12 months apart. Like exactly 12
Oh,
months
so they're
apart.
12 months apart. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
not even.
exactly 12 months apart. So
Okay.
they like except one was born. One was born in 2011. One was born 2012, but same birthday. Weird, right?
Wow.
So,
That's crazy.
that's why, yeah, right. So I got pregnant, unfortunately, on his birthday, both years. So it was like, I was going to Memphis. So it was like, whatever. But we were a long distance relationship. So he moved here, and I should have known. Oh, now I think back, I should have known. Shit. Like, he moved here like 3 days before my son was born. So it was like, damn, I'm sitting there looking like I was stupid. Okay, but yeah, he moved here 3 days before my son was born. I'm not lying. And then when he moved here, and so we moved in Kennesaw, and then we ended up getting pregnant right after I had the first one. So then I got
Right.
pregnant with the second one, and that was our first time ever living together.
So what was the problem then? Everything
Right. Well,
going good. He
y'all making
moved
babies,
in.
right?
Y'all had babies.
What's going on?
How
It's
did it
just
go
okay
left?
at that point in time. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a tomboy, right? You probably can tell from me. I'm a tomboy, so meaning like I'm a shoe collector. I could collect so many. I got buku shoes. Like I'm one of them type of girls, right? I don't know how to have sex with emotions, right? So I just learned how to when I got married. I'm not lying, and I don't know how to. So it was just that to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I cared for him. He was a nice guy, right? But he was a serial cheater. So it's like every time I turn around, it's a Rain or it's a Latoya or it's a Bethany or it's somebody, right? That I'm just finding out about. Or someone's inboxing me on Facebook, or someone's texting me from his phone, or someone's sending me pictures. I got that's what I was always getting. Now I know I slipped up and got pregnant again when I
Hmm.
should have not done that from from getting all the shit from the first one. But unfortunately, I did. I can't change it. It is what it is. I just
Right.
got tired. I got tired after, and I take that back. I left him when my son was 2, when Carson was 2, and Caleb was 3. So I left him
So
then.
when you left him, your next relationship with your husband.
Yes. Believe it or not, I know.
Excuse
It
me.
was like so I wasn't with no one after that. I went on dates. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna say I
No, no,
didn't.
I'm
I went
saying
on
like
dates,
serious relationship. So
but the
pretty
relationship
much the
that was my him.
kids only know their father and your
Correct.
husband. Like
They've
that's
never met nobody ever. So
Okay.
even when I was dating, I never. It was one of those like you can come over when my kids go to sleep, or hey, let me go drop the kids off at the nanny house. I'll be back home at such, or we can meet at dinner. That type of stuff that I had going.
Okay. So okay, y'all broke up because he wanted to be a playboy, pretty much, right?
He's still a playboy. Hmm.
Okay. So
so why he mad at you?
yeah. So what happened? Why did
I
he not
keep
take care of them
asking him,
kids?
and funny thing about it, and I've asked him so many times, and I will literally post the screenshots one day and on my TikTok. I literally ask him so much, what did I do to you? Hey, what did I do to you? He can never answer the question, and I said because I can tell you what you did to me. I can tell you. You got all day. I can tell you what you done to me and these kids. Now I can tell you, but you cannot tell me what I did to you to cause you to do this to my children. Like, what did I do to you?
And
And his
you've never alienated the kids from him,
hell,
correct?
no, I make. Remember I told you guys the other day. I said I have to make the kids call him. Like, hey, call your dad. Hey, here, call your dad. Even when we first broke up. Now that first year, I didn't alienate. I just didn't want nothing to do with him. I didn't want him to know where I stayed because I was in an abusive relationship. That part I was not trying to say, but yes, I was in an abusive relationship. My draw on
Okay.
why I left, the draw on
So
why I
when did
left
that
is when
start?
he threw
Did that start in the beginning or when he moved?
when he moved to Atlanta. So when he
Okay.
moved to Atlanta is as when it's after I gave birth to Africa. I told you I went into labor 3 days later after he moved here, and then it
So
started maybe
why? Let me
a
ask
few.
you a question real quick. So why didn't you want to speak on that? If you want to tell your story,
Um, again, that's what my husband always asks me too when I talk to certain about this certain. I just try to leave it out because again, I try to protect him. And my husband's like, that's your problem. You try to protect him. And it's like, and I'm like, I do that because I don't want nobody to what how can I say it? I don't want nobody to that may know him to be like, oh, damn, you abuse women. And
Mhm.
I don't know. I honestly can't speak on if he's the same way still. You know what I'm saying? Because I know if someone come to me and tell me that my husband used to beat their, I don't want nothing to do with him. No, I would divorce central, but he never hit me. You get what I'm saying? So I believe in when an abuser is an abuser, they don't change. They're an abuser. Now they can go to rehab, whatever, but he literally my draw was, and I'll be honest, my draw was when we were arguing about a girl that I saw on his phone. And I know it was my fault. I went through the phone. I get it all the time. Yes, whatever. I went through the phone. And I had my son in my, I had Caleb in my, I had
It wasn't
Carson
your
in my
fault.
hand.
Going through the phone don't render you
I
being
still, I still
abused.
feel like it was my fault for going. If I, you
Now,
know how they
yes,
say,
you invaded
don't
his
search.
privacy, but that don't give
There
him
you
the right
go.
to physically harm you.
I feel,
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like if I would not, you know how they say, you search and you shall find.
Yeah.
I I feel like okay, like damn, like okay, should I have not searched
You
the
got
phone?
what you
Then
was
maybe
looking
I wouldn't
for.
have, you know, I did. Yeah, you're right. And I just like so my draw was when I had Carson in my arms and I was in the bath. I was in our room, and we stayed in the college park. And I was in our room. And I was looking at the phone. He was downstairs. He left his other phone upstairs, and that's the phone I went through. And I'm like, well, that's weird. That's odd. So I asked him. I texted him from my phone, who was this? I heard him coming upstairs like really fast. And so I heard him close our bedroom door. He kicked the door in. And so he kicked the door in. Like I said, I grabbed and at this time our son was still on the bed, but I grabbed our son in hopes like, okay, he ain't gonna touch me if I have my son in my arms. So I grabbed my son in my arms and he literally and I ran into the bathroom once he did that. When I ran to the bathroom, he kicked that door in and I went into, you know how in the house where you have the toilet part that's different than like where you can go in there and go and use the bathroom, the toilet, and you can close the door. That's I went in there. And when I went in there, I locked that door. He couldn't kick it in. So what he did was he grabbed something, a chair, and banged that one, the knob off, and came inside. At that point in time, I'm on the phone with 911. He grabs my head and slams it into the into the toilet and broke the toilet ring where you sit on. And my son was in my arm. He grabbed him by one arm and was like, "Give me my son." And he hit me and grabbed my hair, hit me like with his hand, and put the fuck
man,
the
that's a
thing.
lot. That's a
He
lot.
put my head into the toilet seat.
It's
So
safe to say you left him because of the
I
domestic
left.
violence and not the cheating, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't the only time. That was like the fifth time, you know. And I should
You ain't gotta go into that because
Yeah,
that kind of
that's a
just
lot. That's
pissed me
yeah,
off.
that's
and
a
So
so
lot.
my husband still gets pissed off from it, right? And it's like
yeah.
and so he's a controlling type person. He's still like that now. So for example, he literally came up to my husband right before we got married and said, "Why you want to marry her? She ain't shit." That's what he told my husband. And during the drop off for the kids. And he was like, "Who are you talking to?" And that's when my husband, that's when they got to fighting. And he's like, "Don't you ever talk about my wife like that." Like he literally had to defend me.
So
And
they had
that's
a
my husband.
fight.
Yeah, they had. Yeah, oh yeah. My husband and now my kid's father is terrified of my husband. My husband is mind you, he's 6'3", 200. I mean, he's like 280 of muscle. So he's built like a linebacker, and he has tattoos all here, arms, and he's one of them guys. Basically, what I'm trying to say. And so my husband don't talk. He not gonna talk to you. He not gonna sit up here and argue with you, fight with you with no man. He don't do that. So He like if you and so one day my kid's father like tell that bitch to bring my kids. Tell that bitch to bring my kids. Like he kept saying on my phone. And I'm like, bro, kill off with the bitches, bro. Like I don't have time for that. That's what I literally said to him. And this is the
He
last
was
time
saying
I
that
did
to
drop off.
who?
To me. Like that's what he's saying to me on the phone when it's when
Oh,
this is when me and my husband we weren't married yet, but we were engaged.
hold
And
on.
it's
Before you get into that, just take us back. So when did this all start of him not being there for the
Right,
kids?
like what type of father was he? I know he was abusive to you, but was he a halfway decent father
he
or
was
like?
he was a halfway decent father, meaning like if the kids need him, he was there. You get what I'm saying? Like if I need him for the kids, he was there. If I needed him, he was there to a certain extent. You get what I'm saying? So, but again, this is not it's not about me. I don't care what you can do for me. I want you to do
Okay.
for him, do for
So
them.
what?
You know
So
what I'm
now
saying?
you leave, you break up, you go off.
And I
You
did
didn't you didn't
alienate
want you didn't
him for a
want you
year.
didn't want him to know where you lived.
Correct.
So
I did alienate him for a
what
year.
type of father was he then?
At that point in time, like I said, I did leave by when he left for work one night. I did leave. I'm not gonna lie to you. When he left for work, I can't do it anymore. I ended up paying extra for a U-Haul company, for a moving company to move me at night. And I asked them, can y'all, and I told them my situation. My dad came with three guns, and my dad's Marine Corps. So he's like he came with my uncle, him, and my brother, and they came and moved me at night with a moving company because they were like, I dare him to show up at this house right now. My dad was furious after that last thing. And he was like, so he came and helped me move at night. And when he got home and realized that everything was gone, I changed my dad ended up getting me a burner phone and everything, and I left. So he didn't know where I was for a year. And he
And
thought
so
I
he
was at
didn't.
my dad's house.
So
He
in your
didn't.
case, he didn't see the kids for a year. So
He
this was
did.
purely because of a domestic violence situation. So most people would say instead of just alienating the kids from him, why didn't you proceed with charges, pressing charges on him? You know,
Or get any
or get
legal.
any legal.
I should have, and I did get I didn't press charges on him for domestic violence. I did call the police. It's in reports. Like they was able to take pictures and all that stuff of my leg, my face, everything. I just didn't go. They asked me that I want to pursue charges, and I told them no. The and I know I'm stupid. I know I'm crazy for saying this. The
So
reason why, again, I just think about what it can do to him when it comes to my kids. I don't care what somebody has to say. I know I'm wrong, but I put myself last, and I know I have to change that. But I just know what will it do to them? And then also, if he in jail, what kind of child support I'm gonna get? Nothing, because at the end of the day, he can't work.
what do you say to the people that say like you alienated your kids because you took
for
him and left?
that year.
I did alienate the kids for a year. I just couldn't because every time I tried to, when I would call from block numbers, because I didn't want him to have my number at that point in time. I wanted every time I would try to let him see the kids. Now, when I say alienate, that don't mean I didn't had no contact with him. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when I tried to get him to meet with me with the kids, it was always yelling. It was always when I see him, I'll beat your ass. That type. Well, why would I want to put my
So
kids in that?
what
I'm not.
So it was a true protection issue.
Like you, but even though he's not gonna harm his kids, but who's to say? I don't know.
I
Some
mean, it
men
happened
maybe.
all the time. People get unalived at
I just
Exchanges.
as
never do.
exchanges.
Hmm.
Yes, and
So
not saying that he would do that to me. I don't really think he
You just
would
didn't want
have.
to take that
I
chance. Like,
didn't want to take that
I
chance.
mean, that's valid. If that's
If
your
every
truth, that's
time
your truth.
correct, every time I hear you, it's like, oh, when I see you, I'm gonna beat your ass and da da da, and anybody you got with, like, oh, and he ready, oh, I'm quick to pull, and all this other stuff I'm hearing. So
Yeah.
at
Mm-mm.
that time, I didn't have a license to carry. So at that, I have a license to carry now, but I don't have a license
so
to carry then.
so
So I
take us.
wasn't.
Go ahead.
I should have pressed charges, but I didn't because again, like I said, he works for the airlines. I did not want that type of charge on his record
You
because they
still
take your
cared about him, and
they
that's just what it
they
is.
take
That's
his
what it is.
badge.
It was a you were a that's battered woman syndrome. Okay,
Yeah,
it's nobody's judging you. You don't have to give us a third degree. I mean, we're asking the question because of course the viewers will want to know. They're gonna say this, so we want
yeah.
you to be able to defend yourself.
Yourself.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it is what it is. So we're gonna move on. So fast forward, he's now you with your husband, and he's
Uh,
really furious, of course, because maybe
Hold
he's
mm-hmm.
on,
jealous.
hold on. I'm sorry. Just take it back one, just a little bit. You
Mm-hmm.
said so after the year, what happened at that point where he's can see the kids again? Was your husband involved at this time or?
When did he see the kids again? I'm trying to think. Oh, when I moved to my new apartment in Stonecrest, at that time I still did not meet my husband yet. I knew him, but I didn't like we didn't go out on a date yet. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew him as a friend because I knew him. I've known him for years, but we never thought no, he wasn't my type. I'm like, you ain't my type. I was into like basketball. Their
Yeah,
biological dad 6'6". I was into a different type of man.
So
And I was
what
like,
made
cool.
you feel safe
yeah. Like
at that
I
point?
felt
Because it
safe
was
at
some
that point in time.
time
My
passed, or
time passed and he was with a new girl. So I was like, cool. You got a new person in your life. Hopefully you think differently. So I was like, cool. So I moved into my new apartment with my best friend. Me and her was together. Me and her moved together. When he and I'm not gonna lie to you, at that point in time, I was begging to go back. I was, because in my
to
eye
go
he was like,
back
I've
to be with
changed.
him.
I've changed. Correct. That's why I said I'm stupid. And he was
Wait,
because he was
no,
telling me
no, you don't have to call yourself stupid. We just trying to follow you. So
because he.
you at that time you away, and we know what it's like
Mhm.
to break up with somebody. You got two kids. You still
But he was
love
telling me he
him.
changed. I
Okay,
changed.
right.
I changed, and
Were
I
you
promise I
jealous
won't never
that he
do
was
it
with
again.
another woman? Is that
I
why you were
was.
trying to go back?
I was. I'm not gonna lie to
That's
you and say
fair.
I'm not. I was. I was like, I want my family back. I don't want no other girl to reap. Now I got you that good job at the airline, no sir, Bob. And I know what I want, them free flights. At the end of the day. That's all. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's what I thought of too. Like I want
Them,
them free
them,
flights.
them free
They
flights ain't
listen,
worth
the
no
flight
ass
flights.
whooping, okay?
It's not. It's not.
Okay.
But then I thought about my kids. I'm like, you know what? My kids deserve to be in a two-parent house. I was raised in two-parent home.
Yeah.
So I'm
But
like,
not
I
not
want
a toxic two parent household, not a
no. Oh no, I've
violent
never heard my parents argue.
two
I've never heard my
parent
parents argue.
household. But I get you. We follow you, you know.
Like, but mind
And
you, they have
again,
never
we respect
witnessed.
you. Thank you for, being
My
so
kids
transparent,
never.
because
Thank
this
you.
stuff
My
can't
my
be
kids
easy
have
to
never.
talk about.
My kids have never experienced him hit me and said that one day. And of course they don't know what's going on. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So and now I can understand they witness us argue all the time, but they never witness us arguing. I'm not gonna lie to you. So it was like we always knew how to argue in private, like go upstairs, leave the kids downstairs watching like Blue's Clues or something, and we going upstairs
Right.
gonna
But
handle
you
our
did say
situation.
he fought you with your baby in your hand.
That's
So
why I said that one
at
time.
that
yeah, that
Yeah,
one
he
point,
did.
time.
yeah, at that point,
Yeah,
it wasn't. It's unpredictable at that point. If he
correct,
did it that
correct,
one time, in the
correct,
future, it's possible. So
correct,
that's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
okay. So
correct.
now take us to that point. Now he can see
So
the
now
kid.
he
What was that like? Because if
She
uh,
said she was begging him. Take us to that point. What
yeah,
do you mean you was begging him?
and I was begging him. And I was at this point in time, I was begging him and like writing him letters and stuff like that, dumb shit, like leaving it in my kids. And that time I let him see the not let him. I hate saying that word. I I was able to meet him to give him the kids. I did not want him to meet him personally, so I had my dad do it for me. My dad met him and gave him the kids at that point in time when I moved into my new house, my new apartment. And then at the second time, my best friend, I ended up telling him where I stayed because I'm like, okay, this is too. I don't want to inconvenience my daddy. Like, all right, I'll let you come over and get the kids. So came over to my best friend. Always stayed at the house with me. And so why he come in, and then after like the fifth or sixth
Why he
time, I'm
come
like, okay, cool,
in?
I'm good. No, not come in, but come through the gate. Like
Gotcha.
Because I was
come
just
through the
about to
gate.
ask you, were you
Hold on.
intimate with him
No. Oh,
again after? Oh, okay.
we've never been intimate
Because
after
you
I
want,
left.
you said, you were honest that you wanted that again. So it's
Correct.
easy
I
for
wanted
that
it
to
back.
happen, if y'all
I never
are
allowed
around each
myself to
other.
be alone. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like I never allowed myself to be alone. And the day I allowed myself to be alone is when I did something stupid. Like meaning like telling him like I just want you back. Like I just want us to be a family again. Like, we need to be, the kid, thinking about the kids. And this man told me the only way I'll take you back if you get down on the ground and beg me. bro, that the most degrading shit. I didn't
You
do it. Like at that point, at that point, I had at that point I was going through therapy.
It's
At that
it's
point,
that's
I was going
giving
through
yeah.
therapy.
sparkle. It's
So
giving
it's
Like
sparkle.
it
you can
seemed
have
like
it.
this
Like at this
guy
point,
just
I'm not doing it. I can't do it.
it
So
seemed
I
like
didn't
he
do.
feel like he got you a certain type of way. So this is why
Yeah.
he's doing certain things.
And so
Yeah. And my husband
it
said the same thing. My husband say I have placed it in his mind that he do because I used to be so like, okay, let me go meet him with the kids. Oh, he said he can't get him till 9 o'clock. Let me go. That's why I told you about boundaries. I had my husband had to sit me down one day and say it's boundaries to this, baby. Like if the court order say he needs to get him, he get off of work, he get off at 7 o'clock. Why is he coming to pick them up at 11 o'clock p.m.? That is unacceptable. You know
so
what I'm saying? And
even once you got married, you still was trying to put like be a people pleaser, and so to speak. You were still trying to give him chances and let him have his way, and trying to like keep the peace, so to speak.
I
Because
just want peace. There you go. That's the word. That's the word I
So
use
what
so
was the
much with
beef?
him.
So what was the beef? He coming to see the kids. So now get us to the part where your husband getting
she
involved.
moved on. That was the big. I would assume.
Okay, can you hear
Still
me?
with us? Yeah, we hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
we
sorry.
hear you.
My car cut off because I was idle too long. But
Okay.
um
So
no
what
it
I asked was, what was the beef? You know, you moved on. Now your husband's in the picture. What's the
mm,
beef now? Like, why is he causing problems and not being there for the kids? Like, why is he giving doing this deadbeat stuff?
so now he say it's because I took his rights away. Which I didn't take his rights away. What happened was I went to court and got full custody. He claims I took his rights away. That's not taking your rights. That's me taking full custody because I got tired of you showing up to my house at 11 o'clock p.m. Or he literally was okay. He literally was taking he come and get my kids, drop them off at some random girl house that he fucking. When he's with them, he goes to his wife that lives in Stockbridge. I didn't know this is stuff I just found out from my kids. He drops the kids off at some girl that he's just dating, that he's just like fucking with, that works at his job or whatever. She got two kids, two boys, but the wife have two girls. So in his head, okay, I want the boys to play with the boys. You know what I'm saying? So
So
I
he
did not
cheating
know.
on his wife, and
I
that's
didn't know
who
none
he
of
takes the
this.
kids around, not with the wife and his
That,
other
that's
stepkids.
I hope his
so
wife
this
don't
is
follow
cute.
us
So
tonight. 'Cause
mind you,
shit.
the wife did not know that me and him that he was seeing the kids. He told his wife that I was alienating him from his kids. So his wife would go try to file stuff on me, and I go to court with the documents to prove it. And she's like, "Wait." So she looked dumb in court, like, "Wait." So they going at it, you know what I'm saying? So then when graduation gets here, and I'm like, and she's texting me like, why you say I can't come to graduation?" I'm like, "I never said that. You can come to graduation. Like your mama, your daddy, whoever, come to my son graduation. I'm okay with that." And he was telling her no because he was bringing a girlfriend. So is crazy to me that is like you got my
And how
kids
you
wrapped
get
up in
caught
that
up in
crap.
the middle of this?
You got that.
Right.
Okay, so now you understand why I took full custody, because I got tired of my kids telling me that you would drop them off somewhere. This is your weekend for your kids. You drop them off somewhere and then you don't come back and get them until Sunday. And you're at home playing daddy with her kids instead of taking your kids with your wife. So what he was doing was he was using that to get out the house, to say, oh, she won't let the kids come over here. I gotta go meet her somewhere. That's what he was telling her.
So okay. And all this is going on simultaneously while you fighting your husband's battles with his baby
There
mama.
you go.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
It's a lot.
Okay. So
Oh
you
my God.
understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
It's going
definitely.
on. It's going on the same freaking time, and it's
So
like did
how
anyone
did
know
you get full? Like, take us there because
I got
I
full
mean,
custody? How get
yeah.
full custody? I got full custody because I went to court. I was able to prove that he always drops off his kids. So basically,
He was violating the order.
he neglects the children with an individual that he would never tell me where they were. And then I proved that he took them over state line without alerting me. Now I don't
Now
care about
tell
him.
us about that.
He basically kidnapped. I don't want to say he's kidnapped. He took his kids to see his mother that he claims, but the kids never stayed at his mother house. I don't understand. You take them to Tennessee to see your mother, but they don't stay at your mother house. So they call. So he ended up taking we that particular day he came to my home. He pulled up to my in my driveway. He laid on the horn, but he didn't see both of my cars in the driveway. So my husband had just left to go down the street because he's like, I don't want to be here when this nigga get here. You don't understand how much damage has been done at this point. So my husband, all he see is red when he sees him. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to. I
Not
want to
to
protect my
mention he
husband.
can't even see his own damn kids. That's
Correct.
just too
Mind
much.
you, the cops at this point, the cops have been called to my house 4 times because he calls them and lies to them and says, "Hey, at this particular time, he called the cops and says, my baby mother had my kids held hostage at her house with a weapon." That's what he says. And I literally look out the window and I see at least 9 cop cars in front of me.
Man, that's
I'm like,
crazy.
what the fuck? And I'm scared at this point. I'm like, I don't want to, like, and I'm thinking about my husband, 'cause my husband's down the street. And I'm telling him, baby, do not pull up. Because again, my husband have a warrant. The fuck? I ain't gonna lie. He got a warrant. Because the baby mama, she just did a warrant on him. So
Oh
I
my
don't want
God.
him to pull up because I don't want them to run our tag and see that he has a warrant. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh my God. So I'm sitting here like, so the cop comes to the door and they come guns drawn. Mind you, my gun is on my hip. It is because that man has abused me for so long. What makes you think I'm not going to be armed? Because every time he tells me, he said, my son told me 2 weeks prior before the incident, said, Mama, I had a dream that daddy shot you. That's what my son told me. So I'm
That's
scared
that
at that
trauma.
point.
It's too much trauma.
And
They
I'm
have
like,
witnessed too
baby,
much trauma.
and of course, I'm pacifying it. Baby, daddy not gonna do nothing to mommy. It's okay, baby. They not doing to mommy. That's what I'm
So
saying to him.
so get us to him taking them to Tennessee and doing all that. What was that?
He when like I said, he came to my house that time. He got there. He ended up the kids were actually in the car when the police pulled up. So that's when I was confused. So I guess it took forever to get there. I don't know. But when they got in the car, he pulled out, he pulled down the street. I mean, he pulled around to take them to his house. That's what he told me. They were going to his house. That come to find out, my son usually texts me and say, Mama, we made it. And I was like, okay, baby, we enjoy your daddy this weekend. Have a good weekend. And I don't talk to them. I don't talk to them for the rest of the weekend. I let them spend time with their dad. So it was just odd that they didn't message me 30 minutes. Then I look, it's an hour. Then I look, it's an hour and a half. Wait, what's going on? So I go and do Find My app. I don't want to text him and ask them where they are. I went into Find My app and I looked and it said they're in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I was like, wait, whoa, wait, they in Chattanooga. Which so what he
Man,
did was
yo, man. I ain't never even heard of that place
like
before.
so he's from
What?
Chattanooga, Tennessee. He's from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Why?
Yeah,
Why
so
did he take them to Tennessee?
So okay, I'm gonna tell you why. He took him to Tennessee because on the order for
Man,
child support, on the order for
these
child
people
support,
be
it
tripping.
states that he lives with his brother in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Okay, he knew I was going to court for custody. So what he did was he wanted the kids' phones to ping at his brother's address to show that he do take the kids to his brother's house. That's why he did it.
Oh, to try to have a defense
There
for
you go.
court.
But little did he know, I print out the whole history of my kids' phones for 2 years. Okay, they have
Mm-hmm.
never pinged at your brother's house, ever pinged at your brother's house. That's the only reason why I found out after the fact about the girl, because I was able to locate her address from doing from going through a service that I know of, and so
So he
Girl.
did all that driving for pretty much nothing.
he did. So when
And
when
so
when they when
what?
they got down there, they called me and they say, Mom, we're at this is their exact words, Mom, my little one. He's like, Mom, we're at and I saw him on the camera. He's like, we at somebody house. I said somebody house. Who house y'all at? I think he said he my daddy brother. Baby,
Mm.
your brother that he looks like your daddy. What do you mean? He's his twin. What do you mean? And he's like, oh, my uncle, I guess. That's what he said to me. And I was livid at that point because I'm like, he don't even know your brother. Your brother has never spent time with these kids. Like, granted, all they see is they look alike, so they know like, oh, we must be related. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they end up going there. They stayed there. He actually told his brother to lock my kids' phones up in the safe so they can't call me. And my son, I ain't gonna lie, my 13-year-old, he's a very mass manipulator. He know how to talk his way out of shit. Like he know how to talk. So he was able to get his brother to open the safe and get the phones out. And what he did was he videotaped it and immediately sent it to me on email. So it was able to he was able to press two buttons and it sent to me just like that. And I get the alert and I'm like, and I'm at this point I'm furious. I'm like, I'm
This
cussing
the part that I have with this whole situation. How these family members, how do you play a part of locking a kid phone up in the safe? Like, man, I'm not doing that.
because
It's like,
he's
hey,
told them a
take your
story.
kids then.
Right. Like, what
He's
is
told them
this
a story.
mess?
He's told them so he told them that I'm trying to get him locked up, which is not it's not true, right. So they was like, well, they kept telling he keeps telling them like, she's trying to get me locked up and like all I want to do is just be a father to my kids, like lying to them. So they again, my son gets it from him. He
Falling
know how
for
to
the
talk.
okie doke.
Yeah.
Yeah, he know how to
Okay.
talk. It is what it
So
is.
Okay. So get us. You said you mentioned something about 2 days ago.
before we get there, what does this full custody order consist
So
of, Victoria?
the full custody order just states that he is oh wait, I left one thing out, y'all. I'm sorry. When they went to Tennessee, he was able when the kids called me back a second time, mind you, the video they sent me, it had roaches crawling up the wall in the bathtub. And then the bottom of the tub was so black as y'all shirts that it was like my kids are they I mean, I'm clean. So they're like, Ma, I don't want to step on this. And then they were like, and I'm like, baby, and they told the kids if y'all don't take
You
a
had your
shower,
babies in the trap house, didn't they?
In a
right?
dungeon.
In the dungeon. And
Spacious,
so the
bitch.
kids, and they told my kids, if you don't take a bath, you're not sleeping in no bed in my house. So and mind you, the daddy just dropped them off and went back to Georgia. So
Up. We done lost
Shit.
you.
Is she back?
Maybe it's her reception. Let's see. Okay, Star, you next. Bear with us. We finna land this plane. Just trying to get the rest of her story.
Tip.
You
You still
still there?
there? We're gonna give you a little minute. We're gonna give her a second to come back, man. It's a wild Friday. We're gonna
When we tell y'all the stuff that people go through. Okay, she back.
all right.
This
so
stuff is
sorry.
crazy.
My husband was calling me, but so then he said, so then after they got in, so then they got in or whatever, um they called me and told me where they were, and I get a phone call again that states my son's frantic. He's scared at this point, and so kind of fun. And mind you, he's going to bring him back Sunday by 6 p.m. And it's Sunday at 4. I mean, it was at 5, like 5 o'clock. And I'm like, wait, they still haven't called me, and they're in Chattanooga. So it takes 2 hours to get back home. Where are they? So they're, and I look at the Find My app, they're still in Chattanooga. So I'm like, oh, this nigga about to run off with my kids. Oh hell, like that's all I kept thinking about. Kind of find out, no, he booked them a flight from Chattanooga, Tennessee to Atlanta by themselves.
Wow.
So I show up to Hartsfield Jackson with Clayton County, East Point, and Atlanta police officers. Because if you know, Hartsfield Jackson is broken up to 3 cities. So I went with every city police officer, whatever side he want to come out on, that's fine. Because I'm gonna find that cop to get you. So
Right.
they end up getting the kids. But again, like I said, he got a mouthpiece. So he's like, well, she trying to take my kids from me, and and they can't handle civil matters. They're like, well, that's
Mm-hmm.
civil, and and he was smart enough to have his uniform on. So they're like, well, my kid just came to visit me for
So
work.
he was at work.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I didn't defend myself at that point. I said, you know what, kids, let's go. Let's just go. Like, let's go. So I ended up going to court. That was the draw for the judge. When the judge saw that video, the judge was like, we're not gonna allow it to happen again. Because all you did was, and first of all, he didn't show up to court. He kept emailing the judge, and I set him up. I'm not gonna lie, I set him up. What I
Why
did
wouldn't he
was,
come to court? Because if you don't come to court, you
in his
basically gave
head,
your own rights away.
the judge cannot rule if he's not there.
Oh,
So
okay.
Yeah,
in
You
his
okay.
head.
just trying to
That,
promote.
that is when you
There
That
you
is
go.
so
when
not
you
true
go
to
to
whoever's watching.
if you go to
It's
family
not true.
court, that is a silver suit.
You need to show up because
You need to
that
show
judge
up.
will rule whenever they
You
get
know,
ready to.
but
Which you
again,
and
like I
Jay
said,
know.
at this point, I've done all my research. At this point, I know how to make sure the law is aligned correctly. I don't want to go back to
That's the
court. So
key.
what I did was I sent the documents that I was supposed to send so I can make sure my court case cannot get continued. So what I did was I made sure to send it to his mama address, his daddy address, his aunt, his grandmother, his girlfriend, and his wife, and his other girlfriend I found out he had. I sent it to every single address that I
His
know he's
other
associated with.
girlfriend is
I sent it
Well,
crazy.
to all three.
His other
girl, you
girlfriend is
need to get a
crazy.
private investigator,
I
a
hired a private
paralegal,
investigator.
a
I had
lawyer,
I,
everything.
I
So let
hired a
me
private
ask. So let me
investigator.
ask you this.
But
So so
we didn't get
they
to what
ruled.
they
They
ruled.
ruled.
What was the rule?
They ruled for full custody because of the simple fact. So he kept emailing the courts to tell the courts that I don't live at the address. He don't know I set him up. What I did was I did not tell him verbally about court. I did not tell him through my email about court. I had proof of that. I didn't tell him about court. So how did you know you have court, sir? That means that you got it from one of the addresses that I sent it to. So the judge said, "Well, sir, you got the court order. How did you not know you had court?" He responds back and says, "I heard it through Miss Small." She's like, "Well, that's weird because I have documents and court. I was able to print out my phone log, my text messages, my emails, everything to
How
show
did
I
he say
never
that if
told
he
you."
didn't show up?
He emailed. How did you know how did you know who to email? How you know who to
Right.
email?
So
He
did they
emailed them.
give him like supervised visits or what was the
No, so
outcome?
the final order is he and my son is the one that requested it from the judge. They had to talk to him. My oldest one. They asked him, "What do you want?" And my son out his mouth said, "I don't want to go over my daddy house and he's gonna be mean to my mommy. And I want to make sure that my dad spends time with me and my brother." And he said out his mouth, he says, and what he said, "I want to," no, he said, "I want to control when I go over there." That's what my son said. And I said, and mind you, I went under oath and said, "I did not tell them what to say, Judge. I put that on the right hand of God. I don't care who I gotta pray to. I'm telling you, I did not tell them." I said, they also wrote a note, and I would go under oath, Your Honor, and let you know I never read their note. So here go the notes from the kids. Their stepdaddy did not read it. Nobody read it. I want them to write it the day before court so I can hand it to you. You know what I'm saying? So the judge was like, "Well, I'm taking into consideration what they want, and they do not want to be around father if father do not, because he didn't want to give me their address." So the judge put in there that he has to let me know the address that he stays at. Far as like where the kids will be, not where he's. I don't care where he stay, but where would the kids be?
Right.
He has to let me know if they are doing overnight visits with anyone other than his wife. He needs to inform me. And they kind of find out they're not married
That's
anymore.
crazy that that's in the
They're
order.
not.
Like this man just knows there's a cheater in this custody
That
order.
is insane.
It's crazy.
They're not
And
married
and
no more.
and
They're
this
not
is
married
why
no
we
more.
tell people it is not one size fit all. Like you got to do your due diligence. You got to fight that fight and get what you need and want. And
Exactly.
it don't come easy. You got to go through some shit.
You
But
don't.
to get that order on your side, you got to do the right things.
You
And
gotta do the
so
right thing. So
that's why I
I
really wanted you
documented for
to
what
get
what
there.
was what
Hmm?
was his I think your husband was telling me about something about a calendar, and I wanted to encourage you guys to do that calendar because that's what I did for 8 consecutive months. I
Hmm.
did a calendar. I bought color coded every single thing, and that's how I won my case. So what I
Yeah.
did was I posted when he was supposed to pick up the kids. He didn't show up. I posted his excuse. I purposely emailed him at the time he's supposed to pick him up. I emailed him and let him know, "Hey, I'm here at the meetup location. Where are you? How far are you? You have a 30-minute grace period of 45, however long I want to give him, an hour, whatever. Hey, do you know how when you will get here? If you're not coming, please inform me." Things of that nature. He didn't want to
Yeah. So
communicate. So
before we let you go, just to piggyback off of that, we definitely documented everything. We was very strategic. That's how we won custody as well.
mm,
The calendar is just an additional piece
Yeah.
of
Mhm.
help for you, because you're not going to remember every single little everything. So if you go to court
Yep.
and you got that and it's right there, you can boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
So that calendar is genius. We might be rolling one out soon. So y'all stay tuned and keep an eye out for that. Who's the Deadbeat will be making a digital calendar for parents.
Mhm.
Talking apps, that's another key thing. Something that's gonna have be time stamped, something that's going to keep record of everything, not just emails and text messages, because those things can be altered and you just don't even want that to even be a possibility. So we always encourage, like you said, talking parent apps. There's several ones out there that you can use,
Mhm.
and a calendar, and document if you want to win these cases. So before we land this plane, because we do got another guest, and I
Oh,
thank
I didn't
her for
know
being
that. I'm
so
sorry.
patient with us.
I'm sorry.
Mm. No, it's
I didn't
okay.
know
It's
that.
okay. You well within your space, but we just want to know because you said he was a deadbeat. So since this order, what that's like?
He don't
Yeah, since he,
he don't do nothing. I mean, he I tell the kids, hey baby, y'all want your dad to come to the games, and then I now have to ask them. I can't just usually I'm like, your daddy coming to the games. And they be like, why, mom? Like, I got a basketball game. That's now they're in basketball mode. Like, I don't need now they're really big on energy. My oldest one is really big on energy. Like, mama, I don't want that energy in my space. I don't. That's what he says. And I'm like, well, baby, just talk to your dad. Hey, call your dad. Talk to your dad. And then he'll call his dad, and his dad was like, what? What's up? How's school? How
So
grades?
let me ask you
I
this. Let me ask you
That's what he said.
this. Do you think that it would probably been easier if the judge ordered a scheduled times when he should pick the? Because now it seems like that make it kind of harder for you and on your kids to have to constantly
reach
say
out
reach
and
out and
enforce.
but if the judge have ordered, look,
Mhm,
every other weekend and every Thursday or something you come,
mhm.
do you think he would have probably followed that more versus
No, that was the order. That was the order where he had to come get them by
and he still
Friday.
wasn't following that?
No, that's what I was saying.
Oh
He was
well,
So
coming
yeah,
by
the
11
judge
p.m.
he
they was
gave
done playing with him.
yeah, they was
Like
Yeah,
done with
like
him.
I did three
He played
different
with the order
orders,
way
three
too
separates.
way too much.
Three separate orders. Like and then on top of that, like I never went down there to file for child support again. Like I did child support the first order, and he was making like $14 an hour, and that was back in 2017 or something like that. I did that. Now he makes $33 an hour, and I told him for a year straight, if you don't get your shit together, bro, I'm going on there and file. I'm going on there and increase my child support. He's like, no, you ain't gonna do nothing. You always all talk, no bite. All right, cool. So I let it go. Now I have my court date is on Monday. So it's like I tried to help you to get we had 50-50 custody. So you were only paying me $500 a month, but he never bought nothing for the kids, never bought shoes, nothing. And it's like I'm like, okay. And I told him, I kept warning him, listen now, if I go in there and I full custody, I get. So now they did my worksheet, my attorney did my worksheet and everything, and they said now my child support go from 501 to 2478 a month. And I tried to avoid that, but I don't
Maybe he's
need the
gonna be
money.
coming to you for you to help him out to get his child support removed.
No, see, where he fucked up at is he pulled up at my house the last time 3 weeks ago, and with a brand new Hemi with a car, and I'm like, congratulations, you want a cookie? Like that's what you did wrong. So you should have you tried to come flaunt off your new car to me. You in my driveway with the exhaust making it go with the music loud like you wanted me to see it. Okay, you wanted me to see it.
This stuff is so comical, and it's not. It's
It's
like it's
sad.
sad, you know. And but
I mean,
we.
So let me go ahead, baby. I'm
No,
sorry.
I was just gonna wrap it up.
But yeah. So let me ask you this, like I asked everybody else before we end um every interview or story, whatever you want to call it. Uh, if you could do it all over again, what would you do different to make the situation better?
I will control my mouth. I have a slick tongue. So I feel like I will probably let a lot of stuff go, meaning like I won't I won't have dialogue with it. Like if you say something, I'll be like, all right, you're right. Instead, when how I used to be like, bitch, ass nigga, you don't. I'm going in, like, you know what I'm saying. My tongue is slick, and I feel like I should have been more of where I am now with the place of peace. I should have just been like, all right, you got it. What time you want to meet you with the kids? You know what I'm saying. I feel like that has caused us to have a lot of anger that he has, because I do say my hurtful crap. I do. So I feel like I would have held my tongue. I would have just let stuff slide, and I would have just said whatever, you know. And I feel
Yeah.
like I would have forced the kids to
So
go more.
you do feel like you played a part in the conflict,
Yes,
some of it,
definitely,
some of it.
definitely, definitely. I feel like I, I,
That's
I would
fair.
take back. I would take back a lot of things that I have said to him. I would take back a lot of things that he said. 'Cause a lot of things I've said, I know how to cut below the belt. So my mouth is slick. So I know how to cut below the belt, which things I should not have opened some wounds that he may have had when he told me in confidence when we were together. I feel like I should not have brought those wounds back. You
So
know what I'm
you
saying?
do understand why he's pretty much bitter in a
Yeah.
sense.
I mean, not no, but well, all this is what I'm
Not
saying
to
to
the
you now.
level, but some of the
Yeah.
things that you feel like you contributed to
Yeah,
and making
definitely,
it worse than better.
definitely. I have made it worse. I definitely have. I'm not the type of person like I ain't did shit. I ain't no. I know
So
my mouth.
going forward, what's your plans? Because I know you said you and your husband are kind of now in a
We're
blissful
we're at a
place.
peace. We're at peace. I don't want to. I'm not. I'm not gonna lie. Your husband and the guy who was at the top of the screen on TikTok.
W3. Shout out to
Yeah,
W3.
Yeah.
yeah, like they made, and I after I got off for y'all live the other day, I started crying, and my husband's like, "What's wrong?" Like, so, and I'm like, "Well, baby, like I told him what y'all said." He was like, "Well, I told you that a few years ago, but you won't listen to me." I'm like, "See, you didn't have to say all that." Like, he was like, "I
Y'all
told
never
you to go
do.
cold turkey." Yeah, he like, "I told you to go cold turkey, but you didn't want to listen to me." But I guess
Yeah,
somebody else had to tell you.
it's time to heal.
So
I mean,
yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna
you
go cold
seem like you
turkey.
trying to do what's in the best interest of your children, fostering and facilitating them to
Yeah,
have a healthy relationship with their father. And that's all we pretty much ask for. We not here to judge. Some situations just different. I mean, we call people out on their bullshit for sure. It
yeah.
was a lot, and we just thank you for being transparent and sharing this story with us. Like I told you before on TikTok, your information is very vital to a lot of people that are fighting. A lot of people that may want to fight, and I will be reaching out because I do want
If
to,
you like, if you need me to help with the child support
yeah,
situation, I couldn't go in detail on what I
yeah,
did
it's a
because
lot.
it's
It's a
not in
lot. I
front of me.
understand.
It's not in front of me, but I definitely can send you what I did. I wrote everything down. I can send you what I did step by step. I
Okay.
mean, I'll send it
Let's
to you.
let's connect. So I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna be reaching out. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
No
And
Go
problem.
enjoy your husband's
okay.
birthday.
Yeah, he
You
been blowing my
had to
phone
get
up.
on.
I
You
will.
finna get cussed out.
Yeah,
I am because I
this
haven't
may be
answered in
the,
two
the
hours.
longest interview to date on
So
Oh,
Who's
I'm
the Deadbeat.
sorry. I'm
okay.
sorry.
No, it's okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too. Bye bye.
Peace.